2 pink lines. That's all it took to destroy my entire world. I'm staring at this pregnancy test, my hands shaking so violently I can barely hold it steady. After 3 years with Marcus, after all his promises about our future together, after moving in with him just 6 months ago, this should be happy news, right? This should be the beginning of something beautiful. But deep down, I already know it's the beginning of the end. Marcus is in the shower, humming some stupid song like he doesn't have a care in the world, like he didn't just spend the last 2 weeks acting weird, distant, checking his phone constantly and whispering into it when he thinks I'm not listening. I've been trying to convince myself it's work stress, that maybe his boss is just riding him harder than usual. But women have intuition for a reason, and mine has been screaming at me for days. Before we jump back in, tell us where you're tuning in from, and if this story touches you, make sure you're subscribed, because tomorrow, I've saved something extra special for you. I slip the test into my pocket and try to act normal when he comes out, that towel wrapped around his waist, water still dripping from his dark hair. God, he's beautiful. Even now, even with this sick feeling in my stomach telling me something's wrong, I can't help but think about how lucky I thought I was, thought being the key phrase. "Morning, babe," he says, but he won't meet my eyes, won't even look at me properly. "We need to talk," I say, my voice barely above a whisper. That's when he freezes, completely stops moving, like I just told him his worst nightmare was about to come true. And maybe I did. About what? But his voice cracks when he says it. I pull out the test, hold it up between us like it's evidence in a courtroom. About this. The color drains from his face so fast I think he might actually pass out. He sits down heavy on the edge of our bed. The bed we picked out together. The bed where we talked about our dreams. Where he whispered that he loved me just last month. "Zara, He runs his hands through his wet hair, and I can see his mind racing, calculating, trying to figure out his next move. This is really bad timing. Bad timing. 3 years together, and our baby is bad timing. Bad timing for what, Marcus? My voice is getting stronger now, anger starting to burn through the fear. Bad timing for what exactly? He looks up at me then, and I see something in his eyes I've never seen before. Something cold, something that makes my blood turn to ice. I've been trying to figure out how to tell you this, but, Zara, this isn't working anymore. We're not working anymore. The room starts spinning. I grab onto the dresser to steady myself, this pregnancy test still clutched in my other hand like some kind of cruel joke. What are you talking about? We were fine yesterday. We were fine last week. We've been planning our vacation to Mexico. We just signed a lease renewal. I know. He cuts me off. I know, and I'm sorry, but I can't do this anymore. I can't pretend like we have a future when we don't. Pretend. He's been pretending. For how long? Weeks? Months? How long has he been lying to my face, sleeping next to me every night while planning his escape? So what, you were just going to leave? Just pack up and disappear without saying anything? He looks down at his hands, and that's when I know. That's when the pieces click into place. The hushed phone calls, the way he's been pulling away, the way he flinched when I mentioned wanting to visit his family next month. You were, I breathe. You were just going to leave. Zara, please. No. I'm backing away from him now, my heart pounding so hard I can hear it in my ears. No, you don't get to please me. You don't get to stand there with your crocodile tears and act like this is hard for you too. Preparing and narrating this story took us a lot of time, so if you are enjoying it, subscribe to our channel. It means a lot to us. Now back to the story. He stands up, reaches for me, but I jerk away like his touch would burn me. The timing of this conversation is really convenient, isn't it, Marcus? Right after I tell you I'm pregnant. Right after you find out you're going to be a father. I didn't know. But you were already planning to leave. I'm shouting now, all that rage and hurt and betrayal pouring out of me like a dam burst. You were already done with me, already moving on to whatever, or whoever comes next. His face goes guilty, shifty, and that's when I know there's more. There's always more. Who is she? Zara, don't. Who is she? The silence stretches between us, thick and poisonous. I can hear my own breathing, can hear the neighbor's dog barking outside, can hear my entire world cracking apart. Her name is Jessica. He finally whispers. She works at my company. It just happened. Just happened. Like falling in love is something that happens to you, like cheating is some kind of accident you can't control. How long? It doesn't matter. How long, Marcus? 4 months. 4 months. 4 months of lies. 4 months of him coming home. To me, every night after being with her, 4 months of me thinking we were solid while he was building a whole other life behind my back. I'm going to be sick. I run to the bathroom and barely make it to the toilet before everything comes up. Morning sickness mixed with heartbreak, the most toxic combination imaginable. When I come back out, he's gotten dressed. He's already packing a bag. You're leaving. Right now. I think it's better if I give you some space to process this. Space to process. I laugh, but there's no humor in it. You mean space for you to run to her without having to look at the mess you made. He zips up his duffel bag, the sound sharp and final in the quiet room. What about the baby, Marcus? What about your child? He stops, his hand on the bag's handle, but he doesn't turn around. I can't be a father right now, Zara. I'm not ready for that kind of responsibility. But you're ready to move in with another woman. You're ready to start over with someone else. You're just not ready to face the consequences of what you did to me. So that's it? You're just going to pretend this baby doesn't exist? Finally, he turns around, and I see something in his eyes that cuts deeper than everything else. Relief. He's relieved this is happening. He's relieved he has an excuse to run. I'll send you money for whatever you decide to do. Whatever I decide to do. Like this baby is just a problem to be solved, just an inconvenience to be handled with the right amount of cash. Get out. Zara. Get out! He leaves. Just like that, 3 years together, and he walks out my door like it means nothing. Like, I mean nothing. Like the baby growing inside me means nothing. I stand at the window and watch him load his bag into his car. The car I helped him pick out. The car we drove to the beach just last weekend when I thought we were happy. He doesn't look back. Not once. That's when I realize he's not just leaving me. He's erasing me, erasing us. And he thinks he can just drive away and start fresh with Jessica, like none of this ever happened. But he's wrong about one thing. I'm not going to let him pretend this baby doesn't exist. I'm not going to let him abandon his responsibilities while he plays house with someone else. Marcus has no idea what he just started. He thinks this is over, thinks he can just block my number and move on with his life. He's about to learn that some things can't be blocked, can't be ignored, and can't be forgotten. This isn't over. This is just the beginning. Abandoned and Pregnant. Part 2. Planning Revenge. It's been 3 days since Marcus walked out, and I haven't eaten anything that's stayed down. The morning sickness is brutal, but I think the heartbreak is making it worse. Every time I try to take a bite of toast, I remember him sitting at this same kitchen table just last week, stealing pieces of my breakfast and making jokes about how he was going to get fat if I kept cooking so well. Lies. All of it was lies. I've called him 17 times. 17. Each call goes straight to voicemail, which means he blocked my number the second he got in his car. Like I'm some crazy ex he needs protection from, not the woman carrying his child, but I'm not crazy. Not yet anyway. I'm strategic. Before we jump back in, tell us where you're tuning in from, and if this story touches you, make sure you're subscribed. Because tomorrow I've saved something extra special for you. I'm sitting on my couch with my laptop, a cup of ginger tea, and a notebook filled with everything I know about Marcus Thompson. 3 years of intimate knowledge about someone gives you a lot of ammunition if you know how to use it. And I'm learning fast. Jessica Martinez. That's her full name. It took me about 10 minutes on social media to find her. Marcus never was good at covering his tracks. She's pretty, I'll give her that. Blonde hair, bright smile, works in marketing at his company. Her Instagram is public, which is her first mistake, because it's given me a complete timeline of their affair. The photo from 4 months ago at that restaurant downtown. The same week Marcus told me he had to work late. The concert they went to 6 weeks ago, when he said he was visiting his sick aunt. The weekend getaway to wine country that happened during his business conference. Every lie laid out in perfect chronological order with timestamps and location tags. But here's what really makes my blood boil. She knows about me. In the comments on her older photos, before the affair started, I can see where Marcus mentioned his girlfriend. She knew he was taken, knew he was living with someone, and she pursued him anyway. They deserve each other. But they don't get to just ride off into the sunset while I'm left picking up the pieces of my shattered life with a baby. On the way. I've been doing research for the past 2 days, and I've learned some very interesting things about parental rights and responsibilities. Just because Marcus wants to pretend this baby doesn't exist, doesn't mean the law will let him. See, in this state, biological fathers have financial obligations whether they want them or not. And if he thinks he can just disappear and start fresh with Jessica, he's got another thing coming. I call my friend Sarah, the one who just finished law school. Zara, oh my God, I've been worried sick. Marcus posted on Facebook that you two broke up, but he made it sound like it was mutual and he posted on Facebook? My grip tightens on the phone. What did he say exactly? Just something about growing apart and wishing you the best. Very generic breakup announcement stuff. But Zara, what happened? You two seemed so solid. I fill her in on everything. The pregnancy, the affair, the way he just walked out like 3 years meant nothing. By the time I'm done, Sarah is practically sputtering with rage. What a complete piece of garbage. And he just blocked you? While you're pregnant with his baby? That's why I'm calling. I need to know what my options are, legally speaking. Sarah goes quiet for a moment, and I can practically hear her lawyer brain kicking into gear. Okay, first things first. You're going to want to establish paternity as soon as possible after the baby is born. That creates a legal paper trail for child support. In this state, fathers are financially responsible until the child is 18, regardless of whether they're involved or not. What about before the baby is born? Well, you can try to get him to voluntarily acknowledge paternity now, but if he's already blocked you and running away, that's probably not going to happen. But Zara, here's the thing. Once you file for child support, it becomes a matter of public record. His employer gets notified. His wages can be garnished. It's not something he can just ignore or block. A smile spreads across my face for the first time in days. Tell me more. Preparing and narrating this story took us a lot of time, so if you are enjoying it, subscribe to our channel. It means a lot to us. Now back to the story. If he's truly trying to disappear and pretend this didn't happen, you're going to make his life very complicated. Child support enforcement is no joke. They can suspend his driver's license, put liens on his property, even garnish his tax returns. And what about his new girlfriend? What happens when Jessica finds out her perfect new boyfriend comes with 18 years of child support payments? Sarah laughs, but it's not a nice sound. Oh, that's going to be a fun conversation for them, isn't it? Nothing says fresh start like monthly reminders of the life you tried to leave behind. After I hang up with Sarah, I feel something I haven't felt since this whole nightmare started. Power. Marcus thinks he holds all the cards because he walked away first, because he blocked me, because he's making me feel small and abandoned. But he's wrong. I start making a list. Not a revenge list exactly, but a justice list. A list of everything I'm going to do to make sure he can't just erase me and his child from his life. Step 1. Document everything. I screenshot every one of Jessica's Instagram posts that proves their timeline. I save every text message Marcus ever sent me talking about our future, our plans, his promises. I gather every piece of evidence that shows how serious our relationship was, how committed he claimed to be. Step 2. Medical documentation. Every doctor's appointment, every ultrasound, every piece of paperwork that proves this baby exists, and when it was conceived. He can block my phone calls, but he can't block court documents. Step 3. Financial preparation. I start gathering every piece of information I have about Marcus's income, his assets, his spending habits. The man bought a $1,000 watch just last month. Clearly, he can afford child support. Step 4. The nuclear option. And this is where it gets interesting. See, Marcus works for a family-oriented company. They do a lot of community outreach, sponsor Little League teams. Their whole brand is built around supporting families and building strong communities. I wonder how they'd feel about one of their employees abandoning his pregnant girlfriend to run off with a coworker. I'm not saying I'm going to do anything with that information. Yet. But it's good to know I have options. My phone buzzes with a text from an unknown number. For a split second, my heart jumps, thinking maybe Marcus came to his senses. Maybe he unblocked me to apologize. But it's not Marcus. It's Jessica. Hi, this is Jessica. Marcus told me about your situation. I think it would be best if you moved on and didn't try to contact him anymore. He's made his choice. I stare at that message for a full minute, reading it over and over again. The audacity. The absolute audacity of this woman to contact me, to tell me to move on from the father of my child, to act like she has any right to make decisions about my life. I type back, "My situation? You mean my pregnancy with Marcus's baby? That situation?" 3. Dots appear, disappear, appear again. She's struggling with what to say, which tells me Marcus hasn't been completely honest with her about why we broke up. Marcus said you two had been having problems for months. Of course he did. Of course, he's rewriting history to make himself look like less of a monster. Is that what he told you? Did he also tell you he's been living with me this whole time, sharing a bed with me, planning vacations with me while he was sneaking around with you? The dots appear and disappear several times. Then, I don't want any drama. Then you shouldn't have slept with someone else's boyfriend. No response. She's probably running to Marcus right now, showing him our conversation. Maybe even realizing for the first time that she's not the victim in this story. She's the accomplice. But her texting me was a mistake, a big one, because now I have her phone number and more importantly, now I know she's worried. She's worried enough to reach out to me directly, which means their perfect little love bubble is already showing cracks. Good. Let them worry. Let them wonder what I'm going to do next, because I'm just getting started. I look down at my still flat stomach, place my hand there gently. Don't worry, baby, I whisper. Mommy's going to make sure Daddy takes responsibility for you, one way or another. Marcus wanted to walk away clean, wanted to start fresh with no consequences. But he forgot one important thing. I know him better than anyone. I know his weaknesses, his fears, his pressure points, and I'm about to press every single one of them. Abandoned and pregnant. Part 3. The reaction. 2 weeks. It's been 2 weeks since Jessica had the nerve to text me, and I've been busy. Very busy. I'm sitting in the parking lot outside Marcus's office building, watching employees trickle out for their lunch break. My hands are steady on the steering wheel. My breathing is calm. And for the first time since this whole nightmare started, I feel completely in control. The legal papers in my passenger seat are just the beginning. Before we jump back in, tell us where you're tuning in from. And if this story touches you, make sure you're subscribed, because tomorrow I've saved something extra special for you. My phone rings. It's Sarah. Zara, please tell me you're not actually going through with this. Going through with what? Legally establishing paternity? Making sure my child gets the support they deserve? I thought you were the one who told me about my rights. I meant the legal stuff, not whatever this is you're planning. You sound different. You sound scary. I catch my reflection in the rearview mirror. She's right. I do look different. There's something harder in my eyes now. Something that wasn't there 3 weeks ago when I was just a woman in love, planning a future with someone I trusted. Marcus made me different when he decided to throw away 3 years and abandon his child. Just promise me you're not going to do anything illegal. Everything I'm doing is perfectly legal. Morally questionable maybe, but completely legal. I hang up before she can lecture me more and check my watch. 12:15. Right on schedule. Marcus walks out of the building with Jessica beside him, and seeing them together in person for the first time hits me like a physical blow. She's laughing at something he said, her hand tucked into the crook of his elbow like they're some perfect couple without a care in the world, like there isn't a pregnant woman sitting 50 feet away whose life he destroyed. They head toward the little cafe across the street, the same cafe where Marcus and I had our first official date 3 years ago. The irony is almost too perfect. I wait 5 minutes, then follow them inside. They're sitting at a corner table, completely absorbed in each other, when I walk up. Marcus sees me first, and the color drains from his face so fast I think he might actually faint. Hello, Marcus. Jessica turns around and I get my first good look at my replacement. She's prettier in person, I'll give her that. Younger, too. But there's something brittle about her smile when she realizes who I am. Zara. Marcus's voice is barely a whisper. What are you doing here? Having lunch. It's a public place. I slide into the empty chair at their table without being invited. Jessica, so nice to finally meet you in person. I feel like I know you already from all your social media posts. She shifts uncomfortably. Marcus, I think we should go. Oh, don't leave on my account. I actually have something for both of you. I reach into my purse and pull out 2 manila envelopes, setting them gently on the table between us like I'm serving dinner. Marcus, this one's for you. I tap the first envelope. Paternity acknowledgement forms and a petition for child support. My lawyer says we can do this the easy way or the hard way, but either way, you're going to take responsibility for your child. His hands are shaking as he stares at the envelope like it contains a bomb. And Jessica, I turn to her with my sweetest smile. This one's for you. She looks confused. For me? Well, I figured since you're planning a future with Marcus, you should know what that future actually looks like. Financial obligations, custody schedules, the fact that every month for the next 18 years, you'll be reminded that he has a child with someone else. I slide the second envelope across to her. That's a breakdown of estimated child support payments based on his current salary. Spoiler alert, it's not pocket change. Preparing and narrating this story took us a lot of time, so if you are enjoying it, subscribe to our channel. It means a lot to us. Now back to the story. Marcus finally finds his voice. Zara, please. Can we talk about this privately? Privately? Like how you privately planned to abandon me? Like how you privately had an affair for 4 months? I lean back in my chair, completely relaxed. No, I think Jessica should hear this. After all, she's part of this now. Jessica opens her envelope with trembling fingers, and I watch her face change as she reads. The reality of what she's gotten herself into is hitting her like a freight train. This says you could garnish his wages. I can do a lot more than that if he tries to run away again. Tax refunds, property liens, suspended licenses. The state takes child support very seriously. Marcus is staring at me like he's never seen me before. Who are you? This isn't like you. You're right. The old me would have let you walk away. The old me would have been too hurt and too proud to fight back. But the old me wasn't pregnant and abandoned by someone she loved. I lean forward, my voice dropping to almost a whisper. You created this version of me, Marcus. You should be proud. Jessica is still reading, her face getting paler by the second. Marcus, you told me she was okay with the breakup. You said there weren't going to be any complications. I never said that. You said she was handling it well. Jessica's voice is rising, drawing looks from other diners. You said it was mutual. It's amazing what people will believe when they want to, I say conversationally. I'm sure he told you I was crazy, or clingy, or that we'd been having problems for months. Did he mention that we renewed our lease together 3 weeks before he left me? Or that we were planning a vacation to Mexico? Jessica turns to stare at Marcus, and I can see the doubt creeping into her eyes. Good. Let her wonder what else he lied about. Marcus, she says quietly, is any of what she's saying true? He opens his mouth, closes it, opens it again like a fish gasping for air. The truth is written all over his face. I can see you two need to talk, I say, standing up smoothly. Marcus, you have 30 days to respond to those papers. After that, we do this through the courts and wage garnishment. And trust me, that's going to be a lot more expensive and a lot more public. I'm almost to the door when Jessica calls out, "Wait!" I turn back to see her standing by the table, Marcus still frozen in his chair. How far along are you? 12 weeks. She does the math in her head, her face crumpling as she realizes the timeline doesn't match what Marcus told her. He was still sleeping with you when we started. Every night, I confirm. Right up until the day he left. Jessica sits down hard like her legs won't hold her anymore. The perfect love story she thought she was living has just revealed itself to be built on lies and betrayal. You knew about me, she says to Marcus, her voice breaking. You knew about her, about the baby, and you let me believe. Jessica, I can explain. Explain what? That you're exactly the kind of man who abandons pregnant women? That you're exactly the kind of man who lies to everyone around him? I should probably leave. Them to destroy each other in peace, but I can't resist watching Marcus's perfect new life crumble in real time. For what it's worth, Jessica, I say from the doorway, you probably saved me from wasting even more years with him. A man who can abandon one pregnant woman will eventually abandon another. The last thing I see before I walk out is Jessica, throwing the contents of her water glass in Marcus's face. My phone starts ringing before I even get to my car. It's Marcus, calling from what must be Jessica's phone since he blocked mine. Zara, please, we need to talk. 30 days, Marcus. You have 30 days to sign those papers, or we go to court. Your choice. You don't understand. This is destroying everything. Jessica won't even look at me. My coworkers saw the whole thing. Good. Maybe now you understand what it feels like to have your life destroyed by someone you trusted. I never meant for any of this to happen. But it did happen. And now you get to live with the consequences. I hang up and sit in my car for a moment, watching through the cafe window as Marcus tries desperately to talk to Jessica while she gathers her things to leave. She's crying now, and part of me almost feels sorry for her. Almost. But then I remember that she knew about me. She knew he had a girlfriend, and she pursued him anyway. She thought she could help him throw me away and start fresh, with no consequences, and no reminders of what he'd done. They both thought wrong. My phone buzzes with a text from an unknown number. I'm sorry. I didn't know the whole truth. Jessica. I don't respond. Her apology doesn't change anything, doesn't undo the damage, doesn't make Marcus any less of a father to the child I'm carrying, but it does feel like justice. I drive home with my hand on my belly, talking quietly to the baby growing inside me. Don't worry, little one. Daddy's going to take care of us whether he wants to or not. Mommy made sure of that. Marcus wanted to walk away clean, wanted to pretend we never existed. But some things can't be erased, can't be blocked, can't be abandoned. Like responsibility, like consequences, like the fact that in 6 months, he's going to be a father whether he's ready or not. And thanks to those legal papers, he's going to be paying for it for the next 18 years. Up next, you've got 2 more standout stories right on your screen. If this one hit the mark, you won't want to pass these up. Just click and check them out. And don't forget to subscribe and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss any upload from us.